Hello, welcome to Purchase System Bio Training. In this session, we will be mainly talking about how to perform a requisition for direct purchase and how to perform a requisition for special order items. My name is Christian. In the future, if you have any enquiries, you can reach us at these few channels. You can reach us at the phone, and we have a Skype ID, and also you can reach us via this email. Purchase system actually is a cloud-based system. In other words, you can access our system whenever you want, as long as you have internet access. So for Hyatt Marketplace, this is the website that you will be going to use for training and even after live. You may need to write this down, or you can save it as a favorite inside your browser. For training, we'll be sharing all of us will be sharing the same login ID, which is JKT7010, and then the password will be password 1. Let us go through the transaction flow for marketplace purchase. So in the beginning, the hotel user will be creating a purchase request. The purchase request will be submitted to the head of department, and it will go through a list of approval flow. So once it has been approved, it will be sent by the system to the purchasing department. The purchasing department will then convert the purchase requests to the PO. Once the purchase request has been converted to the PO, the purchase order will then be sent to the supplier automatically, and then the supplier will accept the PO, and if they agree the quantity and amount, they will try to fulfill the purchase order by sending back all the products back to the hotel. The hotel receiving department will receive the goods, and then they will record the quantity and amount sent by the supplier. And then once everything has been fulfilled, they will send all the information to the AP, which we call it account payable, and then we will be proceeding to do the reconciliation inside the purchase system, inside BSS. And then they will transmit all the necessary files, which is invoices or credit memo, back to the accounting system. For special order items, what is special order items? All the items that does not exist in the system, we call it special order items. The ordering normally will be proceed in a one-time process. So how to start? The user actually will be creating the request for quotation in the system. RFQ. After that, the REQ will be going through approval process by the head of department. The head of department will need to confirm whether these items is necessary to be ordered. Once it has been approved, the RFQ will be sent to the purchasing department. So what will be done by the purchasing department is, at this level, the purchasing department will be selecting all the necessary supplies with a price. They will request all the prices from the supplier, and then they will update all the suppliers at the prices for these specific items back into the system. After that, they will comparing the price and which one is the best supplier, and then they will select the best supplier by awarding the supplier inside the system. Once the supplier and the price has been awarded, the RFQ will then be converted by the purchasing department to the PO. And then once again, the PO will be going through a list of approval process again, because after the price and supplier has been confirmed by the PO, the head of department and the DOF, the director of the finance, and GM are required to know who is the supplier and the price for this one-time purchase of items. Once the items and the PO has been confirmed, the system will automatically send the PO to the supplier, and the process after this will be exactly the same like direct purchase. It will be going through by the supplier, and then the supplier will confirm all the quantities and amounts, and then they will fulfill the items by sending the goods to the hotel. And then the hotel receive the items at the receiving department, and then once the fulfillment has been done by the receiving department, they will send all sort of information to the AP. AP will proceed with a reconciliation and then proceed to transmit all the necessary files to the back office. So let us go through by the system. So this is the website that we'll be going to use. To log into our system, click Login to Hyatt Asia Pacific. And then we'll be using the same user, which is JKT7010. The password will be so inside the system, you can see at this point, it will show the username, and then the marketplace 543 actually is referring to the Hyatt, to the property, Hyatt property. 6699 is the property ID. From this icon, this is a home button. Home button is a button for you to press it in order for you to back to the default buttons. For example, if I go to PO and my home button is REQ, if I press home, it will send me back to the order guide if order guide if the order guide is a default home button for me. This one is the menu, the side menu. You can press to hide or unhide all this function. This one is the mail system inside the purchase system, inbox. This inbox is quite important for the approvals. For the requisitors, it will be seldom to access this mail system. So my settings, you may need to pay more attention on this my settings. So every time, for the first time log into the system, the first place that you need to look into it is my settings. In my settings, you can change your password over here. And then it will display what is the first name and the last name of this user. And then message delivery option, which is how you want the system to send the information to you. Normally we will select virtual system, message inbox and email. Phone number, please do not change the phone number. We will always use a phone number for the purchasing department. Whenever you perform a requisition or a PO, will be sending to the supplier. The number will be displayed inside the PO, and the supplier will be reaching you by this number. The email address, you need to verify whether this email address is your email address. You can input more than one email address if you want to include your department email address inside this user. At this point, you can see default tab for front page. This is what I called it just now, the home button. If I select order guide as my home button, whenever I press the home button, it will bring me back to the order guide button. And for this checkbox, you can see hide menu upon login, which is referring to this menu button. Hide summary upon login, which is referring to the summary. If you do not want to see all the menu and all the summary, the logo, this is a Hyatt logo, you can select all the checkbox. and the rest you can leave it as the default. And then you just proceed with the save. And after this, the system will then prompt you for a message, which is it means that the processing is done. Once you see this checkbox, that means everything has been saved. Press OK and then close these windows. So now you know that every time you press home button, it will bring you to the order guide. So if you feel that every time you come in here and then you need to use REQ or you need to go to the order sheet. Order sheet is the place that you will be placing order. You can just go ahead and go to the My Settings and then change the default home button. And then the rest of the button here is, this is a help page. It will bring you to the user manuals. So if you think it is necessary to know more, you can actually download all these menus from our system and then have a read to have better understanding on BSS system. This one on-off button is actually a lockout button. So now we will be going through this section. The first is REQ, PO, inbox, RFQ, inventory, special order items, and order sheets. In this section, we call it tab. It is necessary to know what is a section of this page, because in the future you may need us to support you, and then if we said please go to the tab of REQ and then do this and that, you may need to know where is the tab at the point. So this section, the green button, we call it as buttoned. Okay. So this one, select entry, we call it a drop down list. So first of all, we go to the order sheet. We select the order sheet in order to start to request for an item. So for example, if you are a kitchen department, you want to order something for kitchen, you can go to this order sheet. So in this screen, it will display all the items in one screen. If you want to order an item, you can go into the columns and then put in the quantity. For example, like this. And then let's roughly go through what is the meaning of these titles. You can see part number, and then description for the items, and then the price of items. REQ referring to the unit of measurement is something like kg or package. The unit of the items, the quantity of the items. Source type, that means is it a direct purchase or storeroom purchase? We have two kinds of purchasing. And then storeroom, you can just ignore this part if you are doing a direct purchase order. Selection logic. The system will help you to select the necessary suppliers. For instance, if the items have 4 suppliers, in order to let the system to know which supplier we're going to choose, the purchasing department actually will define this order sheet, whether it is an older supplier, or it is a cheapest supplier, or it is a preferred supplier by the system. So for you, you can just ignore the selection logic because it will be maintained by your purchasing department all the time. Buyer item command. It is a specific command for these items. For example, if you're ordering a fish or a 10 kilo fish, but inside the description there is it doesn't mention that the fish, what is the size of a fish. So at this point you can just input the necessary information. For example, you want 10 kilo of a fish with a size roughly of 6 inch, something like that. Bear in mind that this buyer item comment will not change the description of the items, or it will not change the quantity or the unit of the items. So to order the second items, probably I want to order a cream brulee. I can just input like this. Then I need to order a milk soy, package of milk soy. And then once you confirm all the items here, you can press create REQ. From this windows, there is subject. We will recommend you to use a standard subject feature. So the first thing that we will input is the department. We will be ordering a kitchen staff. So we will put kitchen. And then the division, which kitchen you are working at. For the user that come from a department that without a division, something like HR or something like event department, you can just go ahead and put the department without putting the division. And the reason why do you want to order these things? You can put it daily. And then the requisition date, the date for today. But the required delivery date is the date they require the supplier to send the goods to the hotel. The receiving date. So there is some way to input the date. If the required delivery date is today, in virtual system there is some shortcut. You can type in T, which is indicating that this is today. So 7th of September. So if you want the goods to be arriving after 3 days, you can use +3, and then the system will automatically help you to calculate what is the date for the next 3 days. The next shortcut is if it is within the same month. For example, if you want 20th of September, you can just put in the number of the date. And then you click anywhere blank. The system will help you to put the date within this month. And then finally, you can press this calendar to select the date. For example, if I want to have the items on Friday 15th. Internal note is a note that you intended for the supplier for the whole requisition. For example, you can give special instruction for the supplier, mainly on the time or whatever you want. Purchase type is food. Purchase type is very important. Then you need to bear in mind that you cannot mix all the items in one purchase type. So for example, if you create REQ for food, and then you think that you need to order some general items as well. So you need to create the REQ with a new, you need to create the new REQ for different type of a purchase type. Food is food, beverage is beverage, and general is general. You cannot mix them up. The department and the GR account, you can just ignore this because in the live system, the system will help you to select the necessary GR accounts. However, if you are the user that can help other to order items on behalf, you need to select the necessary department for the user and the necessary GR account for the users. Okay, at this point, which one of the outlet that the goods will be sending to? So it is kitchen, Chinese restaurant, so everything looks good. You can press OK to start creating the REQ. So the first REQ that I've been creating, the system will directly give you this REQ number, and then once you click OK, system will bring you to the tab of REQ. In this REQ, you can see the REQ number, the date you have been created, the delivery date, what kind of REQ of this, what is the status of this REQ, the purchase type, subject, the department, and the price. When the REQ is in status of new, you can do everything you want. You can adjust the quantity, you can adjust the items, you can delete, or even you can delete the whole REQ as well. Once you have been submitting the REQ, there will be no more changes on the REQ. So in this example, how can we view the items inside this REQ? You can go into the button of info and then select print view edit. If there is any notes that attached to this REQ, the system will tell you that you have one note. So from the REQ, you can see REQ type, purchase type, the number, and the status. If you would like to edit something inside the REQ, for example, if I want to change the quantity for the first item, you can use the edit line at the end of items. For example, I want just 4 butter roll. Please rest assured that in the live system, the GR account problem will not be appearing like this, will not occur. So once you change the quantity, you just press save. And this probably you say you want to order 10. Cream brulee. Save. And for this item, probably you change your mind that you want to delete this item, you can just press. At this point, you are not allowed to change to 0, because whenever there is a 0 quantity items inside REQ, the REQ will have trouble to proceed. So what will happen if you put 0? The REQ will appear as a cross line, but this item will not be accepted by the system. The system will not proceed, will never be proceed with any items with 0 quantity. So bear in mind that if you do not want to order this item, you need to proceed to delete the items instead of you put it as 0. So once everything is confirmed, you just proceed to close the REQ. For next, if you want to change the required delivery date, or you want to change the subject, you can go ahead, press header update here. So from header update, you can change the required delivery date. Probably you change your mind that you want it to be earlier, 14. And save. So once this REQ has been confirmed, and then you can just go ahead to press submit to submit this REQ. So once you submitted the REQ, the status will change immediately. It becomes approval pending. The status is very important for you to check because you need to know whether your order is in which stage. For example, if it is approval pending, it determines that the REQ is stuck, is pending for the approval from your next level approval. So who is the next level of approval? You can click this, select the REQ, and then go into info, and then click approval detail. So you can see a list of a name here. All these are approvers. By that means any one of these approval, once approved the REQ, it will go to the next level. It will either become it will either go to the next level of approval, or either it will be approved. The status will become approved, or the approval cut off some quantity of the items. The status will become approved with changes. So once the REQ been approved, and then if once the REQ been approved, the REQ will reach the purchasing department. So at this point, if you see the status is already approved for your REQ, you will no longer looking for the approval for your status of the REQ. So at this stage, is the REQ is with the purchasing department. And what purchasing department need to do is they need to convert the PO, as we can see from slideshow just now. They need to convert the requisition to the PO. So once they convert the PO, the requisition to the PO, the process for requisition is done. The status will be showing document generated like this. Okay, so once you see document generated, you know that the PO has already been created by the by the purchasing department, and at this point you just need to sit back at your department and then wait for the goods to arrive to the hotel. Okay, so now we go through the second REQ again. We go to the order sheet, and then we need to order other items in the same order sheet. So if you go back to the order sheet, the tab of order sheet, you will realize that the existing checkbox is still being checked. So what can we do is we can press this refresh button. So the page will be refreshed, and then you can put in the new items again. So for this time, I want to order other items in probably in general. I want to order general items. I want to order towel. So despite of you search, you look at the system one by one, there are some functions that we can introduce for you to search for the items. The first thing is the search function by the browser, which is you can press Ctrl F, and then the browser will prompt for the columns. I select T. As you can see, it will highlight all the T items. You can see 2 of 5. That means there are 5 T's has been found inside the system in this page. You can click this up or down arrow for the next items. Okay. Secondly, you can use item search. If you know the part number, you can put it part number. If you know the part description, you can put it the part description, something like that. If you are not sure whether it is part number or description, you can put it inside either. For example, I want to search, or I want to search for tower. In tower, and then I press OK. So at this point, you can see the system help you to filter every item with a description of tower. If this is the items that you want, you can just press this and then put in the quantity and proceed to create REQ. The bad thing of this function is you only can select one item per time. That means if I already put in quantity 1 and then I want to select the second items, I put in 1, and then the previous selected items, the tower that I selected just now, will not be selected actually, because once you press this, the page will be refreshed. The items that you have been already ordered or ticked or put in the quantity will not be taken in fact. So unless you just want to order one item, you can use this function. The third function that you can use is you can use the advanced search. You press the advanced search, the icon of Earth over here. In the description, you can reset it, and then if you want to search something like tower or multiple items, you can use like. For example, if I want to search tower pack 3 items, then you can click go. Then the system will help you to filter every items that have been put in the description. And then at this point, you can just select whatever you want. and then create REQ. So now we proceed with create REQ. Subject is kitchen. Time is and what is the purpose of this? In the date for today. Required delivery date after 7 days. And then purchase type is general. Outlet is C. Kitchen C. And OK. So you may need to jot down this REQ. Okay. And then, like I said just now, the first REQ that will be created, the system will lead you directly to the REQ screen. So at this point, if I want to add other items, additional items into this REQ, you need to go back to the order sheet, refreshed. For example, I want to add this air freshener green tea, one more these items into the REQ. How can we do is, like as usual, we put in the quantity and then we click the button add to REQ. So from here you will see a lot of REQs because this one is a training database. You will see all the existing REQs that have been done by all the trainees. So that is the purpose that I asked you to jot down your REQ number and then you click go. So this is your REQ number and then you select. And then this function add to REQ, once you add the items inside the REQ, it will not bring you to the next screen, which is inside the order sheet. Inside the REQ, sorry. So let us go through the REQ just now and then we check what is the item inside. You will see air freshener green tea is inside now. So we close it. We go back to the order sheet. I would like to talk more about the advanced search. So at this point, if you always want to order something for your department, we can assist you to create the filters, something like this. So for example, if every time you need to create a REQ to replenish your kitchen stuffs or kitchen ingredients, you can select all the preset filters. In this filter, we can define the part number inside the columns so that whenever you go to advanced search, you can select the filters that suit for your need and then you just press go. Then the system will select all the items based on the filters. So for example, just now I searched for the Chinese kitchen. Of course, it will not appear in general items. So if I go back to the general items, I want to create my own filter. Can we do that? Yes, of course you can. And then you reset it. And then if you know the part number, it will be the best. You can put in, you can select this part number and then you select in lists. Then from the binocular icon, press the binocular icon, you can see, I mean magnifier icon, sorry. You can select any items that you want to input into this filter. Or you are just roughly know what is the name of items, you can put in like, and then like what I've input just now. So you can save this filter from here. You can select this checkbox to save this filter for your filter for your future use. So the naming convention, there is no standard for this naming. If you want to share this filter for every user, you can put an asterisk sign in front of it. So you can put, so you just press go one time, the filter will be saved. So now we go through this once again, we refresh it. Press the advanced search again, we set it, and then now we select just now what I've been, then the system will automatically filter the item system you have been created and go. There you go, all the items that you've been saved will be appearing in this order sheet. Okay. Now we go through the REQ again, and then we need to submit the items. Now we will be going through for special order items. How to order special order items? We go to the tab of special order items. As I had been mentioning just now, special order items is the items that does not exist inside the system. So what you need to do is, the currency in the live system will be fixed to MOP, the Macau currency. So there is no worries. This is just a demo database. So you need to input the required columns. So what is the item number? It is there is no standard format for this item number. You can just input any item number you want. And then the product name, you need to input as detailed as possible for the product name. So for example, if I want to order iPhone, so a specification is something like this. Because the item is not inside the system, so that's why in the description you need to let your purchasing department to know, or you need to let your head of department to know what kind of items actually you're looking for. Order quantity, for example, unit of iPhone, unit of measurement. In RFQ, it is either kg or EA each. The pack of size, you can just ignore this. And then price, you can just leave it as 0 because we don't know what is the price that different supplier will be offering you. So once this is confirmed, you need to click select supplier. So in the supplier search, we always use one dummy supplier. We call it EPR supplier. This is the supplier they will be looking for, EPR supplier. Then once this is done, click create RFQ. Same thing again, subject. It is, for example, human resource require this iPhone. And then sub-department, there is no sub-department purpose. New. Date of the RFQ. Required delivery date. We will put in, because we do not know when will be the order reach to the supplier and when will be the supplier revert back to the PO. So normally we will just input 30 days, more than 30 days. Not to the supplier. The required delivery date is not crucial, so you can just input whatever date that is necessary, as long as the period is enough for you for the items to reach you. Then press OK. Same goes to the REQ. It will bring you to the RFQ screen, and then we need to see who is the approver. You can click approval details. Sorry, you need to submit this document. Once you see submitting new RFQ, this is actually will be just appearing in few seconds. So you copy your RFQ number, you refresh again. You can see it changed to approval pending. So who is the next approver? You need to click approval details again. So anyone from here, once approve your order, it will become approved. And then once it is approved from a head of department, based on the screen, it will go through the purchasing department. The purchasing department will then source for the suppliers and the price. And then once they confirm the supplier and the price, they will convert it to the PO. So once they convert to the PO, the status will become document generated. So at that point, you just like REQ, sit at your department, have a coffee, and then wait for the goods to arrive. Same like REQ, inside RFQ, the buttons that is available for you to use is you can print view edit to see what is the item inside. And then the edit, to edit the description, the department, delivery date, and so on. If this is a recurring RFQ, you can actually use a copy RFQ. The copy RFQ will copy the RFQ exactly the same, except the delivery date. So I can just click copy RFQ, and then it will say A new RFQ has been generated. Click on Header Update to assign current information to the new RFQ. So what you need to do is Header Update. Sorry, you need to find your previous. This is new. This is RFQ that will be created. Header Update. And then you realize that the copied RFQ, there is no subject and there is no submitted date, there is no the current date that is not selected. Once you put all this in and then save, and there you go. A new RFQ has been created by using just copy RFQ. Everything inside is exactly the same. So one thing that I need to mention to you is certain things that for special order items especially, your purchasing department might need more information for these items. So at this point, you may need to attach some pictures or specification for your purchasing department in order for them to place orders to source for correct suppliers. So what you can do is, in the system, there is an attachment buttons. You can click it, and then you can add any documents or pictures inside the system. You can also insert any additional notes, and you can select this. If you want it to be seen by the supplier, you can just tick it, or not, you can just tick it to let the purchasing department to know only. So once you create all this necessary information, you can click close and then submit. Bear in mind that you only can do all the changes, attachment, input notes, change header, change items, whatever, when the status is new. Once the RFQ and REQ been submitted, and once the status has been changed from new to another status, you are no longer able to change anything inside the documents. We go through. Now it is a time for we have to go through the status once again for REQ. As I mentioned just now, the status is very important for you to trace your items. At which point and stage that your items is currently at, whether it is pending for approval, so you know that you need to chase for your approval. Whether it is pending for supplier to send the goods to the hotel, then you can contact purchasing department to chase supplier to send the goods to the hotels, something like this. So we go through whenever the list is new. That means you can change everything inside the REQ. Once you have submitted, it will become approval pending. And then once your approval has approved the REQ, it will become approved. And if your approval changed something inside the REQ, it will be approved with changes. If your approval denied it or disapproved it, it will become denied. Once the approved document arrived purchasing department and the purchasing department created a PO, it will become document generated. For RFQ, it has slight difference of this. So new RFQ, once we press submit, it will become approval pending. Once it is approved, it will pending response or approved denied. Pending response is, at this stage, it is a response from the supplier to the purchasing department. That means your purchasing department already sent all the requests to the supplier, and they are still waiting for the supplier to revert back what is the price and the latest quantity or price they have. And the purchasing department need this information to put into the system. Once the purchasing department has input all the necessary information into the system, the status will become response complete. And once the response complete been processed by the purchasing department and they have created the PO to the supplier, it will become document generated. So in this session, we've been covering how to create REQ under order sheets. We've been covering how to create REQ under the tab of special order items. We have been covering also on the process of how to track the approval. And then last, we have been covering all kinds of REQ and RFQ status. If you do not have any questions, let us go through of the exercise. So in this exercise, you need to order from order sheet I've been providing to you all the items. Pay attention to the measure of unit, the measurement, the unit, and then the status remain on new. Okay, thank you.